be showing you how we run plumbing ads profitably. Hey, my name is Brandon. I'm the owner and operator of Brandch Growth Agency. I've run just south of $100,000 a month in marketing spend. I want to add a note here that this video is for people looking to get better at their Google Ads for plumbing businesses, and not specifically if you need a tutorial on how Google Ad works at a high level. This is specifically for plumbing companies looking to run ads profitably. So if you want to know the difference between a campaign, an ad group, and an ad, this is not the video. All right, I want to set some expectations. Plumbing ads are extremely expensive. It's one of the more mature advertising groups on Google, so you might see cost per clicks that are really high. So the first question you should be asking for running ads for your plumbing business is, how much budget do I need? And this is an excellent question. So what we recommend at our agency is that you need about 70 clicks per week, and you need about 3 months of data. So if you do the math, that's 70 clicks a week, there's 4 weeks in a month, that's 3 months. So that means you need about 840 clicks. How much is a click worth? Head over to your Google Keywords Planner, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on this little icon right here, and you're gonna type in the area that you serve, okay? I'm in Coeur d'Alene, so I'm gonna put that in, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This isn't a huge city, but it is a decently sized one, so it's gonna be relatively competitive. And what you wanna look up are plumbing keywords, like some of the most basic ones. So you could look up plumbers near me, plumbing companies, and maybe drain cleaning. Hit get results. And then what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be selecting the keywords here on the left. Select 10 of them. So I'm gonna sort by top of page bid. We are going to add plumbers near me. We're gonna do plumbing companies. We're gonna do drain cleaning, emergency plumber near me, plumbing services near me, drain cleaning near me, pest plumbers, local plumbers, water heater repair. We'll take this one off. Then you're gonna wanna add keywords to create plan. Then you're gonna wait here, it's gonna say view saved keywords at the bottom. And then you're gonna need to do a little bit of math. So what you wanna do is find the median keyword price for all of these terms, and then find the average of all of them. So the way that you find that out is you subtract the low range from the high range. So let's say this is $41, this is $4. You have a range of $37, and you want to find the middle number between that. So 37 divided by 2, that's 18.5. Then you add that to the low range. So that's $18.50 on top of 4. That's $22.50. You're gonna do that for all of these keywords right here. And then you're gonna find the average of all of them. That is your average cost per click. So let's say this is probably around the range of $35 or so. And that means I need 70 clicks a week. So that's gonna be 70 times 35. That's $2,450 a week, every week for 3 months. That is $9,800 a month. For 3 months, you're just shy of $30,000. So you're finding out how expensive these Google ads really are. And the reason why is that you need enough information to put back into your campaign, back into your landing pages, so that you can optimize and optimize and optimize. If you're making decisions based off of 10 clicks in a month, it's worthless. It's statistically insignificant. And you need to be acting as a conversion rate scientist. So now we need to find out how to even run these profitably. Link is in the bio for this calculator. I'm gonna be going over all the metrics that you need to know to actually do this successfully. So let's take a look here. So this is a calculator. Anything in red you can change, and anything in black is a formula, and that's an output. So don't change anything in black. So let's take a look at some of the things here. We have cost per website, the amount of customers from that website that convert, the amount of people who convert, that's a phone call or a form, are able to get booked an appointment. How many of those appointments are sat, so plumber comes out to their home and looks at whatever's going wrong, and then from how many times your plumber closes that person, so they become a paying customer, and the average order value of those. These are all numbers that you need to know. If you know your annual revenue per customer, this is good here, and your profit margin also. So if you look over here, you'll see how many web conversions you have, how many appointments you have, how many sits you have, how many customers you have, and how much revenue that is made. So in this example, you have a cost per website visit of $35 here in Coeur d'Alene. If we convert 10% of those, that's pretty high. That's where you want to be, actually, around there, especially for competitive areas. 80% of those people who call they make an appointment. 90% of the time, they're sat, a plumber comes out there, and the appointment is real. And then the plumber closes half of those, and they have an average order value of $5,000. This is all fictitious. Yours is probably like $2,300, okay? Then we find out over here, so we have 23 website conversions, so that means we have about 230 people who have clicked on the ad with an ad spend of $8,000. You're probably paying your agency $2,000. So 23 conversions, 18 of them are appointments, 16 of them actually have the plumber come out, and then of those 16, half of them are closed. So you have a revenue of $18,926. So it's not looking too hot here. If you were paying $10,000 to get this, and $9,000 is what you make after you're paying your people, that's not very profitable. So play around with this until you find the numbers that you need to be at in order to afford Google advertising. All right, now let's talk about actually setting up your Google ad campaign. So you're gonna wanna go up here to the top left, click on campaign. You're gonna click create a campaign without a goals guidance, hit search, and then we're gonna come back to conversions, okay? Conversions are incredibly important to make sure that these are accurate. We're gonna use these for right now. You're gonna put in phone calls, boom. And then you're gonna name it. You can name it whatever. You can name it primary plumbing campaign. We're gonna be creating a bunch of ad groups that go beneath this. So keep that in mind. Start new. What do you want to focus on? This is your bidding strategy. Your bidding strategy is so important. And unfortunately, because you are starting off a new campaign, you don't want to be doing maximized conversions. And the reason why is Google has no data to go off of in terms of finding you people who are actually going to convert. So the option that you want to go for is for clicks. But we're not going to just do clicks. We're going to do something called manual costs per click, which means we're putting a bid, we're putting a cap on how much we're willing to pay for a click. Hit next. You're gonna click search network and display network off, especially in the beginning. For location, you're gonna hit United States, you're gonna hit location options, you're gonna hit presence, then you're gonna hit enter another location, advanced search, and you're gonna plug in all the locations that you serve. Make sure there's no typos here, that you're not getting anybody outside of this, out of the place that you serve. It's really important to include presence and not presence or interest, because presence is finding people who are actually in your area. Presence or interest is finding people who might be interested in your area. For example, real estate agents use this to find prospective clients who are looking to move to that area, but you are not that. Okay, you are gonna do presence. Language is English. Make sure to turn off on broad match. We're gonna talk about that more in a second. Then it's time to create our own ad. So now we created your campaign. Now we're looking to create ad groups. We want to create at least 5 ad groups for specific search intent, and let our campaign manage that budget accordingly to maximize conversions at the most affordable cost. Okay, so your first ad group is going to be general plumbing searches. This is going to include words like plumbers near me, plumbing, plumbers. You want to put all of these phrases in phrase match and exact match. Okay, so that means we're putting this guy here in phrase, and we're going to put it and exact. And the reason why is that phrase match is very loose nowadays, and we're going to be monitoring this in our day-to-day to make sure that phrase match isn't doing anything crazy, isn't finding search terms that are totally a waste of money. Broad match is hopeless. Okay, don't do broad match, not initially at least. Exact match is how we're trying to find out how many people actually just looked up that specific phrase and clicked on your ad. It's specifically for data purposes. Let's talk about creating your ad. So your ad is what people see when they look up your Google search query. So we want to make sure that this stands out from your competitors, and we're going to implement a bunch of little things that can do that. So starting with your display path, you want to say something like plumbing done right. Whatever it is, you want to stand out in this way. That's not really a good example, but make sure to put something there.
That's cool.
And then your headlines. Your headlines are the most important aspect of your ad. They're going to get cycled out by Google, so what we want to do is make sure that they're most effective and efficient, and we don't want to stuff as many headlines as possible here. We want to keep it concise, and if you feel like you have to put a bunch of headlines in there, you probably don't. You probably need to make another ad group. Okay, so how do we create effective headline? So the first thing we want to do is match the search intent. So that simply means that if people are looking up drain cleaning services, that you put drain cleaning services or things along that line in your headline. That way people have a continuity in their experience. This will increase your click-through rate, and Google likes it when you have a high click-through rate and you offer an excellent experience. They reward you by lowering your cost per click. The next is adding value props. If you have some sort of warranty or guarantee or response time or flat rate pricing, whatever it is, include that here. Add any additional value props that you might have, or include the amount of reviews that you have. And lastly, include any call to actions, but make sure to include value when you can. For example, call us 2-minute response time. All right, let's talk about your URL. We haven't talked about landing pages yet, but once you've already created your landing page, what you want to do is you want to go to this website called Campaign URL Builder. You want to click this little guy over here on the GA4. You're going to plug in your website, and you're going to name your campaign source. So this is saying PPC, which stands for pay-per-click, and then we're going to add general. That's it. The reason why we want to do this is because you can monitor the traffic in Google Analytics by adding these little extra things on your link. Click on copy campaign URL, go back to your Google ad, and plug it in. Then we have your descriptions. Write some value in there as well. Put some things that people might want to know more about or you feel is valuable to the plumbing experience that your clients might have. Make sure to fill out 2 of those. And then as for site links and callouts, they're not important right now. If you're just getting started, you can optimize for those later on. Then plug in your daily budget that we found at the beginning of the video, and voila, you have your campaign set up. So here's what you're gonna wanna do. Go to your campaign, and you're gonna create 4 more new ad groups. Those ad groups are gonna be for specific services that you provide as a plumber. The ones that I like to use are drain cleaning, clogged toilets, leak repair, and water heaters. And the reason why is if somebody is looking up water heater replacement and they land on your generic landing page that just says that you do plumbing, it's not specific enough. You might not be offering the information that that user needs to be seeing to make a decision. That's why we want to be as specific as possible with our ad groups. So now that you've created all your ad groups, now you want to change your bidding strategy. So head over to your campaign, click on this little gear up here, and it's going to pull up your bidding strategy. Mine's already on manual cost per click, but yours will probably look like maximize clicks. What we want to do is hit manual cost per click and then hit save. We want to add some nuance here, okay? So you don't want to be on cost per click, manual cost per click forever. We're just going to be on here temporarily while we get those first 30 conversions so that we can transition to our target conversion. So what we want to hit eventually is hit maximize conversion, hit set target cost per action, and then set that value. That's how you're going to be able to scale your Google Ads account. But until then, we have to do manual cost per click, or else you're just going to waste a bunch of money. Put into your campaign, you have manual cost per click enabled. Now what you need to do is set the max default cost per click for each one of these ad groups. Again, do the median price for all of these ad groups, for all the keywords that are within the ad group. So now it's time to create your landing page. So your landing page is literally the most important part of this whole process, but you need to be strategic about it. So again, we created those 5 different ad groups. Now what you need to do is create 5 different landing pages that correspond to that ad group search intent. So that means if you have a generic search term like plumbers near me, that you have a generic but also targeted landing page specifically to that search intent. So that might look like wherever the location is. If they're searching within your neighborhood, you type in your neighborhood at the top of the landing page so people know that they're in the right spot. You make it really easy to call you, and you add some value props, and you create an overall aesthetic and easy experience. But now you want to do this for all of your different ad groups. So you might have something for drain cleaning, you might have something for leak repair, water heater replacement, clogged toilets, pipe burst, whatever it is, you need to create a landing page for it to get the most out of your Google ad budget. The most important part of every landing page is the hero moment. Make sure that you have very clear copy, you're including your value props and reasons to work with you. Some easy value props are journeyman plumbers, how long you've been in the game, how many people that you've served, flat rate pricing, free estimates, same day appointments, whatever it is, you need to put it on the landing page so people call you. After you've created your landing pages, you need to install Microsoft Clarity onto your landing pages so that you can see how the users behaved and what you could do to make the experience better to overall increase your conversion rate. Okay, let's talk about conversion tracking. This is literally the most important part of the entire campaign, because if you're not doing this properly, number one, you won't know if your landing pages are actually working, but number two, Google can't learn how to find the right type of customers that convert for you. That means it'll never become more affordable. Okay, so this is incredibly important. I'm going to show you the best ways to track conversions. So there are 2 things you need to track for conversions. Number 1 is calls, and number 2 are form submissions. The best practice for form submissions is creating a thank you page, and whenever that thank you page is seen, that is considered a Google conversion. That's a surefire way to make sure that all your reporting on forms are legit. The second way is to record phone calls. So you can look up something called dynamic swap. That is one way to track Google Ads calls, conversions. But a better thing to do is implement CallRail onto your landing pages. And what this will allow you to do is be able to not just get the conversions from Google, but you'll be able to also listen to the calls back. You'll be able to identify which campaigns different calls are coming from, and it overall lends to more flexibility within your campaigning for your data. And so if you're really trying to get more leads and make Google Ads successful, do that. If you're going to be spending almost $30,000 on your ads, get CallRail. Just do it. Okay guys, so you've set up your campaign, you have all of your ad groups underneath that campaign, you have manual cost per click set up along with the max click defaults. You've got Microsoft Clarity set up, your conversion values are all good, and your landing pages are looking beautiful. What now? Okay, so in your day-to-day on Google Ads, this is what you are going to be doing. You're going to be going to Insights and Reports. You're going to be looking up search terms, and you're going to go for the search terms for each one of your ad groups. And you're going to look up the search terms that are not converting, they're too expensive, and what have you. So for example, how to find a leak in an above ground pool. That is not what we're doing. We're trying to sell this service. This person is trying to learn how to do it, and we're not selling that education. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add as a negative keyword to the campaign. That is what you have to do in your day-to-day on your Google ad campaign.
consequence.
Then you want to make sure that you're monitoring the success and getting the metrics back for your efforts. So what you want to do is create some sort of sheet or some sort of tracking mechanism so that you can actually see if your Google ads are working. It should look something like this. You have cost per click, the amount of clicks that you get, the page conversion rates. This is just a general conversion rate thing. The amount of leads that you got, the amount of paying customers that came from it, lead conversion rate, cost per lead, cost per action, average order value, revenue, ROAS, net profit. This is what you need to be tracking. This is how you're going to see if your Google ads are working and when eventually you'll be profitable on Google ads. Once you're starting to see some more data come in and you can make some adjustments, what you want to be doing is creating tests, creating theories on what can help improve your conversion rates or make leads more affordable. And you're going to want to implement those. So if you see any cool software, maybe something like Tolstoy, which is a video implementation software that you could put onto your webpage so that the founder can talk to the customer that's on the website. These are things that you want to be testing to see if they work. And you're going to want to do this forever. This is not something that will end until you can eventually afford to create a new campaign and do the same thing over again. This is what the day in and day out will look like for your plumbing ads campaign. It'll be a lot of trying out new things and monitoring the test, looking at your analytics to see what's working and what's not, using that data, putting it back into your campaign to make better decisions, and removing keywords that are not working, that are too expensive, or not converting. This is how to run plumbing ads profitably.